I was never going to be a men's physique.
Didn't have much of an off season.
I like his physique better.
I'm always very energetic. I will have to put me as one of the greatest.
Mr. Olympia was won by the back.
Well, first of all, how you been, man? I haven't spoken to you in a while. How's your life? How's everything going?
I'm pretty good, thank you very much. Yeah, that's true. We haven't spoken like for 2 years at least. Yeah, I'm doing my thing. Still sponsored by a German company, a supplement company, GN. My God, GN or GN Laboratories. So working with them for a year already. Still training a lot of clients, a lot of good athletes, but you know, obviously this year is pretty bad for everyone. So it's pretty much slow the last couple of months, but now it's picking up a little bit because, you know, some of the contests are still, doing the shows. So Europe is looking good. In the next 4 and 5 weeks, there are 2 shows. So yeah, I got 3 guys competing in the show. So looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the whole pandemic that's happening? Do you feel like it's really serious, or do you feel like it's a bit like over the top, blown out of proportion a little bit?
I would say, as my opinion, sorry, my opinion is that it's just way over the top, and the cases, from the flu and all the stuff are not even showing up in all the polls or whatever. So it has to be something wrong with everything, because all the death, we hear huge numbers, but in reality, it turned out it's not that huge anymore, you know. So it's weird. I think it's because of the because of the November 3rd. That's all happening because of Trump and all the stuff, because a lot of politicians hate Trump. So, and I think right here with all the shutting down and keeping it all closed for a long time, that's the weirdest stuff I ever witnessed, you know. So it's like insanity what's going on worldwide.
It's crazy because it affected so many
I'm
businesses.
not a doctor.
No, I know, of course. No, I see what you're saying, because it affected so many businesses like gyms, you know. Like, I heard today New York Sports Club is going out of business, Gold's Gym, you know, so many different big chains are shutting down. It's crazy.
I mean, hey, can you imagine, like, you're doing well all the time, and then something comes up like this? Would never, will imagine something like this would happen. And then, of course, I mean, not many people doing well right now, and especially I think when they start reopening and then shutting down it again, that's the death row. I mean, this is just the end of any business, because you're doing all the mandatories you need to do to prevent all this stuff, you know, what's going on, Corona, whatever. But if they still gonna shut you down after 2 or 3 weeks, that's the end. So, and then that's what's happening a lot in Europe too. So weird.
But I hear in Europe, so many countries, they're opened up fully already, you know, and Asia too, they opened
Yeah,
up.
yeah. A lot of countries are open. Yeah, it's like Sweden never closed the country, and like Belarus, they're not even a case or something like that. It's weird because the West countries, it's huge problem. You know, the media is bringing it up like whole day, and it's getting worse and worse. But if I think this way, if there will be a real pandemic and people will die, like every third of us, will die, and there will be no sign in any cure for it, I would understand. Yes, you need to shut down and wear whatever, maybe not a mask, because mask doesn't help at all. And that's what I think. But basically, that's just a huge craziness what's going on right now. It's just, I don't understand it, because we have like hundreds of thousand deaths from the flu or heart attacks, whatever, a year. It's kind of doesn't show anywhere right now. This year, it's just gone. We're all healthy, but we're all dying on corona. So that's pretty much weird. That's my opinion on what's going on. I'm involved with it because I had to cancel my show in the second show. So this year is just bad for everyone. And and I didn't want to go and look forward to just just sell tickets and then hoping that the contest is going to be still on, and then how the people are going to respond to it. That's a big problem. So I said I'm canceling all 2 shows this year, and we'll see what's happening next year.
You still train at that gym in Vegas? What's it called? LVAC gym or something like that?
Oh, LVC. Basically I train in a couple of gyms, LVC, then a new club. It's called Kilo Club. It's a pretty nice one. And Lift Factory sometimes. We have a lot of gyms here. Yeah.
Are they all open already? They all open?
Yes. Yeah. They have still they still have different mandatories like or mandates, whatever. Like in LVC you can train, but you have to wear a mask in case you have to put it on. So in Lift Factory, it's a smaller one. The place is smaller. I think it's because of that. You gotta wear a mask all the time, except you're doing your exercises. So yeah, and in other club, you just walk in with a mask and walk out with a mask. So once the same city, different rules.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So Dennis, I mean, I want to be honest with you. You always were one of my favorite bodybuilders. I feel like competitively, you brought something very different on stage. You were tall, you know what I mean, small waist. It was just always great seeing you. I wanted to ask you about your injury. I think it was in 2016, right? The injury happened.
That's correct. Yeah.
Because you kept it very quiet. I remember when it happened, it was a lot of mystery around it, right? I feel like you didn't want to talk about it, but then you started opening up. But you made this YouTube video about it. But can you tell the people what actually happened and how serious was that injury? What caused it?
Actually, it was pretty serious. But the thing is, I'm kind of not the guy who always want to talk about the problems or health problems or whatever. I mean, if I'm booked for a guest appearance or something, and I can't do it because of my injury, of course, I gotta open up and say, okay, something's happening. I'm not sure what it is, but it started out with sitting on a plane and leaning my head back and having enormous pain in the neck and shoulder area. So, and then we tried to figure out what it is, and all the doctors thought that it had something to do with my shoulder, but it hadn't, and it hasn't. So we figured out that's cervical spine issue. So the C3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 were a little bit damaged. So I think that the C4 and 5 were fused. They were really damaged. And and since then, I'm kind of, almost fully recovered, but still, can't lift heavy. That's the thing which bothered me for a while. I had not the same feeling on my on one side as on the other one. So it was kind of a small disbalance in the body. So during the workout, I felt it all the time. So, and if you're used to having great workouts and feeling great without, exercising without any issues, and then coming back from the surgery, as I became the green light to work out, I felt not right. So, and then after a year, I decided to still make the comeback and, full in this prep. But even in the prep, I felt, it's not going right. But the thing is, I'm the guy who, just want to pull out of anything. So just, I kept doing it. And, like I said, like a promise for the fans, I'm going to do my comeback. And then, I realized, how the body and my physique changed since this surgery, the injury. And I realized it's not I'm not the best or not competitive anymore, and since then it went down a little bit with my thoughts and everything, because it was for me hard to let it go, right? Because if you're forced to retire, it's hard. It's mentally hard, and it was hard. But after a while, I kind of accepted it, and yeah, decided to go on with it, because I'm gonna be 42 next month, but still, it's not the end of the world, So the life is gonna go on all the time. So, but it's just a chapter in my life, It was it was like my life, doing bodybuilding and stuff. But I'm kind of transitioning into being a coach, being a great coach someday, maybe, and then still working in this business, maybe with some supplements companies for the future. And of course, promoting my own shows. Yeah.
Do you know what caused the injury? Because it was a spinal injury, you said. Do you know what was the cause of it?
Yes, yeah. Actually, my doctor couldn't tell me it was an accident or it was already something going on, but a small issue, but it got bigger and bigger because of the hard workouts and, the diets and all this stuff, because, all the stuff is going on in your body and your body kind of react to everything you do. So I think also that was already an issue because a couple years ago, I felt already some numbness or I couldn't pull if I did a barbell row or something, so one side was not going the same way as the other side. So I kind of went, one side went up and the other one was still in the right direction. So kind of disbalanced. So yeah, that was kind of hard for me. But anyways,
It was crazy because you had such a great year, 2014. Remember, you won the Arnold Classic, and then I believe you got second in the Olympia this year, the following year. You were really like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I got third. Yeah, I got third to Olympia. 2014 was one of my most successful years because I won Arnold. I was able to win Arnold Classic in Europe, and yeah, no, 2014 I was fourth. I was third in 2013 at the Olympia. So anyways, yeah. Anyways, it was a huge success that year, and then 2015. I was still there. I was doing well at the Olympia, but how fast it goes, you're good, everything is fine, but then you start your like, the seasonal appearances, like FIBO and all these expos, and start traveling, and then you figure out, hey, something is going on, and something is like really serious going on, So this is kind of make you not just think but worry, And I was worried because as we figure out what it is, and they said it's a spinal injury. That's it could be much worse, or even during the surgery something can go wrong, And these things are very, very difficult to think about, but you got to do this, right? If you're not getting surgery, so yeah, it's gonna stay the same. So, but still, I'm not finished yet. I'm gonna do the surgery on my left shoulder. The supraspinatus is almost teared, so it's a small tear, but and the bicep tendon is, I can explain it. Through the years, it was not enough space to move, for the tendon. So, and then after a while, it got inflammation, and over the years, the inflammation is there, and it's getting worse and worse, and that's what I have right now. So I need to clean it up, clean it out, and do some damage repair.
No, for sure, man. So you did make a comeback in 2018 for the Arnold Classic. I remember that actually. How was the prep? Going through that show. Were you in a lot of pain as you were preparing for the show?
Honestly, it was the worst prep ever because I wasn't mentally ready. So, like I said, I was doing that more for the fans because I promised, and I couldn't pull out because I'm always bodybuilding is my life, or was my life, or still is a little bit, But if you're used to be, going through this preparation without any issues, just like doing your thing, but then you see in a mirror and you're not seeing the same person anymore, and that was my problem. I had no pain at all during the prep, but mentally I wasn't there. So training was okay, but I was kind of pushing myself to do all these things. But I think I already knew that that's gonna be my last time on stage because if you're at the status that you kind of not okay with that, what's going on or how you look, how you feel, there's no future with that. So, and then after the comeback, I tried it to do like a lot of different things, to come back to get some mass, but I couldn't train, like I said, I couldn't train heavy and all the stuff, and mental. I had had to decide, is it worth it to put so much time and money in it to try to come back really, to be competitive. But I realized it's almost impossible because I was not old for bodybuilding, but all this injury and the time which was gone already. I didn't train for 2 years hard enough to be up there again. So and those things are were very very I can say that was the reason, right?
So you officially retired. There's no possibility of you making a comeback, you think, in the future?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean, I get this question asked every time I post something. Yeah, obviously, but no, I don't think that's a great idea. First of all, because it's somehow painful to watch. The old superstars who are trying to make a comeback, and it's not personal, but I think for myself, I don't want to be on stage just to show myself and not being competitive like I used to be. And this is my problem. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, because you are much taller than many other bodybuilders, right? And I was talking to Tony Freeman recently. He's also tall. You and him were the tallest guys on the stage, actually, while competing at the same time. But do you think it's a gift or a curse being a tall bodybuilder? Like for you, for example, was it more difficult, or did it help you to stand out?
I think it helped me a lot because if I was on stage standing next to the guys, great athletes like Jay Cutler, honestly, I look better, because I was taller, wider, and more balanced. So, and that's the only thing, because if you have the genetics to build muscles and you're tall, that's the best thing can happen to you, because there are a lot shorter bodybuilders, and somehow they look almost the same, round, full, but a taller bodybuilder, like as example, Tony Freeman, that's completely different physique. It's more nicer to look at, and that's there's respect to shorter bodybuilders, but we also have difficulties to build muscles like legs and all the stuff that if you're taller, your muscles are longer, so it takes more time to.
That's what I was
bring
yeah,
it.
that's I was wondering, because it takes probably longer to get, to the level.
Yeah, but honestly, I kind of had great genetics also for legs, because in the first year of my bodybuilding career, I would say, I didn't train legs at all, and before my first show, I started training them 2 months before the show, and they matched okay. And the year later, when I was completely training everything equally, the legs were almost too big for my upper body. So, yeah, usually it's not normal. If you're taller, the legs are long, muscles are long. That's why it's so much trouble to or time to build them. And most of the guys, they think I'm gonna do this in 1-2 years, and if it doesn't work, they kind of give up on it. Yeah. But it's not, you take a lot more time for that as a taller bodybuilder.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember your leg workouts were crazy. I remember you and Dennis James were working out in Vegas, and there was some other guy, your friend, I think, from the gym, and he started
Yes,
throwing up.
yes,
He started
Robert,
throwing up.
Robert.
He started throwing up during the workout. Actually, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was very, very intense. As every time when I train with Dennis James, he just brings something different to the workouts, and it's insane. It's just insane because it's not the heavy training what makes you sick. That's the intense training with so much pump. Well, because you pump so much blood and muscles. It's painful already, And during every set you feel it. It burns. It's painful. But after that, man, you're kind of freaking out how great it works if you do this. It's a big difference, the pump and everything. Because if you never experience the pump, you don't understand. But as a bodybuilder, if you experience real pump, and going until to the limits, that's a big difference. That's it's high level insanity, I would say.
It's crazy, man. I remember Dennis James would be like, he would do like extra slow sets. Remember, like extra slow, and then regular speed, and then slow. Like he would do all this interchangeable
Right.
speed. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly. Each set is a little bit different. You start like with 5 slow reps, then 5 normal reps, and then again 5 slow reps, or change it up and mix it up a little bit. And that pumps so much blood in your muscles. It's unbelievable.
What was the hardest muscle for you to train to get big? Did you have any like challenges that you had to like really work hard at?
I think my back, because at the beginning my back was good, but not good enough compared to the top guys, because they all had already all the separation details in the back, and I wasn't able to bring it. But then with all this help from Dennis James, and because I was the guy who listened to the top guys, because hey, that's uh, you know it's worth to take a minute to listen and try it because they have experience. So and then I started working a lot with Dennis, flying over to Phoenix and stay for a couple of days to just training back and hamstrings, to get this pump in. And after a few years, you could see a big development on the details in the back. So I think everything works, but just you need to be on it. You gotta do this. It just takes some time, but you need to invest the time to see the progress you need.
Mhm. What is your typical day like right now? Like what time do you wake up? What do you eat? How do you train right now currently?
Okay, I usually wake up between 6 and 7 a.m. in the morning. Then I have my breakfast. Then I do my all stuff online. My clients, my athletes, and trying to fix that all before midday, and then trying to hit the gym like at noon or 1 p.m. And after that, I just taking some time for the dogs, enjoying my life a little bit. Of course, the most work I do is in the morning because I have a lot of things to do with Europe, and most of the athletes are from Europe, so that's why the most part of my work is in the morning. So yeah, that's what I do. And of course, right now is pretty much lazy everything. You cannot do anything to promote your show or whatever because it's not happening. So this year is slow, very slow. Yeah.
Do you still have regimented eating like the way you used to? When
No, no, no. I eat probably 3 times a day. So I have my breakfast, then I have my lunch before my workout, and then I eat after that. That's it. So and then maybe I'm kind of I love ice cream, so I'm enjoying like watching some movies at night and then having an ice cream every day. But that's what I do. But I hate to eat. That's after so many years forcing yourself. I wasn't a good eater in the beginning, when I started bodybuilding. Then I developed that skill that I could eat a lot, and now I'm kind of away from it, so I'm kind of don't like food anymore. I'm not eating chicken, for example, for a month right now because I was sick with. I'm just having steak once a day or so. Yeah, things like this. I think it's just, over the time you develop this kind of, anti-food stuff, I think, if it will be the priority in the sport, to eat a lot of food and stuff, I will still like the food, but I'm kind of picky right now, trying to eat some different stuff, a lot of salads with just steak or, fish, not that much carbs, so, and I think that's why, of course, I have a good metabolism, but because of my just 3 meals a day, I'm staying in good shape.
That's great, man. You look very happy. You look like
Thank
you look
you.
in a good mood, man, which is good.
Thanks.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I had some uh, problems with being tired all the time, and but I went to a doctor, and I knew that what's the case, but I went to a doctor. I wanted to do it professionally, so I was since my comeback I was clean, so I didn't take anything, so for 2.5 years. And then I went to a doctor, and I'm on a TRT right now for 5 weeks, and I feel great. I feel great. Good.
Well, it seems like every bodybuilder when they're retired, they have to go through a process of just cleansing and really just taking care of them because the bodybuilding is a very extreme sport. You know what I mean? It's a great sport, it's fun, but it's you know what I mean? It's extreme. So you have to go through a period of time where you just recover from it. You know?
Of course, it's just not your body and then mental recover, but this bodybuilding and fitness. If you do this, you already know a lot about your body, about health, about supplements, about anything. And if you do this professionally, or you know what to do, or you know what you're doing, uh, like that, then of course there's a time that you have to go through this. It's hard, but over the years you take a lot of supplements, I would say, and then you just cannot go out of it and just not doing anything because that's gonna cause a lot of problems, heart issues, everything. So, and that's why I went to a doctor just to do this. I checked everything already, like last year, everything is healthy. Only thing I didn't check yet is my heart, but I feel great. So, but in order to feel great, to be able to go through your day and everything, you need to watch your testosterone, and that's what most of the people don't understand. Even the people who don't train or with older a little bit, So yes, very important. It's for a man health or for man's health, it's the most important thing. If it's balanced and a great level, you feel great. You're not getting all these crazy stuff like allergies and all this stuff which comes with the age. I developed so many allergies right now. I'm kind of in the morning. I need an hour to be alright because the nose and everything, the eyes. So yeah, very important. I would always seek for professional help who understands what what really important in order to get back on normal levels and all this stuff. It's very important, and that's why I decided to go to the doctor because I could do it by myself, but I have no control. I mean, so at that with the doctor, because he can tell you, okay, everything is fine or not, and go against it, or help you with whatever you need. So that was the plan from the beginning. I started my career because I thought, if you stop doing this, you need to get back to normal somehow. So
Well,
yeah.
I talked to a lot of bodybuilders that retired, and they said when they were competing, they never went to a doctor because they didn't want to like discover something. They were focused on competing. Do you think that's true? Were you the same way? Like you kind of avoided going to the doctor?
No, I think it's true, but I was not the guy. No. Uh, oh yeah, of course. I check my blood twice a year, always before my prep and after the prep. So, and each time, I mean, if I did 2 seasons, I did this the same way, before and after. But yes, I understand, and I heard a lot of the same stories that most of them don't go because they think if they figure something out, something wrong is going on, that's end of the world for them. But I think if you figure out it early enough, you can, work on it and get all the medicine or whatever. I mean, and also it's not just to figure out what's wrong with me, but like keeping it under control. I think is most important. If you just stay like going to the doctor like every 3 months, I mean, there's no chance that something it's unseen or whatever. So they always gonna see something is going on or not. So I think it's more important to prevent all this stuff, not just doing like 10 years something bad or thinking doing something bad and then trying not to go to the doctor in case you see something. So it's weird. It's bodybuilders are weird people anyways because we like to suffer and all this stuff. But this is already a little bit weird. I would say it's wrong. You gotta be aware what's going on in your body and what's okay and what's not. Yeah.
Did you do a lot of cardio when you used to compete? Did you do a lot of cardio?
Only a lot of cardio in the prep, but I did need to do cardio to get in shape. But I thought it gives me a lot of benefits, when I'm competing. It's the same with posing. I used to start posing practice 3 or 4 weeks out every day, and then I increased it to like 2 days, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, and then before every meal. So it went out to 6 times posing a day. So it was another type of cardio for me. But I think it's more has more benefits in breathing on stage, having a good time, not kind of dying after 2 poses like most guys. Yeah, and that's why that was the case. And also, I did a lot of stairmaster like the last couple of years as a professional athlete, and that was a goal to work on my glutes because they took too long to get in shape. So that's why I increased it a little bit, doing more kind of not squats, but working on my glutes. So that's the two reasons. Yeah.
What's the right way to do cardio? Did you do it in an empty stomach in the morning? Is there a right way to do cardio?
Oh man, there are so many theories, and many trainers and athletes do different stuff. Different types of cardio training. I prefer on early in the morning on empty stomach. I think it's just you gotta used to it. But I think it's the best way to do cardio. Of course, before I could or I owned something, like treadmill or stairmaster, I did it after the workout. So, but I think the best thing is in the morning because I feel just great if you do the cardio right in the morning on empty stomach. Maybe just with some amino acids. There's nothing can go wrong. Because you're not gonna burn muscles, nothing. But in the morning, it helps you a lot to start also the day right. After that, usually if you're having issues with appetite or something, if you start doing cardio in the morning, hey, boom, it comes back right away. So, and these are things which we have a lot of benefits. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about you train a lot of clients right now, right? A lot of clients that compete. So what is like some people like to stay, more leaner during the whole year, and some people want to pack a lot of mass during the off season. What is your rule on that? What do you recommend doing, and how do you recommend to balance out the year?
Okay, it always depends on the condition. There's fat and there's off season. I'm trying to keep my athletes a little bit low fat. Not going too crazy out of shape. Because I'm trying to explain because this is what they have to work later on. Because if you like 10 kilos or 20 pounds over your normal weight, and it's just fat, that's the worst thing can happen. So I'm trying to just bring them a little bit over the condition, or contest condition, and just, maybe get them around there and all this stuff. But of course, I try to have them, or to keep them with high calorie intake, a lot of carbs, all this stuff. But of course, some people have metabolism which can handle everything what you put on on the table. You know, they can eat like thousands of carbs a day and not getting fat. You know, but some of the guys having issues with 300 grams of carbs. You know, and also trying to keep everything healthy. You know, they all these omegas and all important stuff what most of the guys don't do in the off season because they think, okay, in the preparation I need all this stuff so I can get sick. You know, my prep is going well without any issues. You know, but in the off season they're kind of far off, and that's why they get fat and all the stuff. You know, I just trying to keep them, working and on track all the time.
How do you feel about How do you feel about fat burners? Did you used to use them yourself, or do you think it's would you suggest it to the clients?
Oh man, fat burners. I think the best fat burner is diet. You know, that's my opinion. I was, I didn't like to use all this stuff. No pre-workout, no fat burner, except Yohim Bean. That's kind of great supplement. I recommend all my athletes before the show, like a few weeks. That's the only thing I use, but the rest, all these fat burners, I didn't like all this extra stuff which is in it. I kind of tried to stay like, like how you can explain it, man. Just simple, basic stuff, and if you add too much to your diet, if you need a fat burner to get, leaner and all this stuff, I think it's just too much. If you eat right and doing your prep right, you're gonna burn your fat easy.
So how do you feel about the state of men's open bodybuilding? It seems like it was mass monsters were dominating, but then Sean Roden won, and it was maybe more towards aesthetics. Right now, it's kind of like I don't really know. How do you feel about where it's gonna go in the future, men's open bodybuilding?
It's tough to tell and hard to see where it's going, but we have a lot of new young guys coming up, like Hunter Labrada, who else? Ian Valliere. I think they could be, a threat, or a new generation, I would say. But right now, I mean, if you look at the Olympia last year, I mean, a lot of people complain, it's not the same, but the athletes are still great. It's not just bodybuilding is dying. No, it's not the case. The Korean Mr. Olympia is one of the greatest ambassadors for the sport too. I mean, I was following over the year right now, and he's doing great. He is, taking time to answer all his comments or the comments from the fans on Instagram and all the stuff. I mean, he's doing a great job. But in the bodybuilding, I mean, it's hard to tell, because if you look at Phil Heath, what kind of muscle quality, separation, details he had, and then going to, like, say, Sean Roden, he was a smaller bodybuilder, great separation, everything, great condition. But, if you compare them, I mean, he might win 2 poses against Phil, So, but Phil wasn't on stage, Sean wasn't on stage. There were guys like William Bonek, an awesome athlete, Brandon Curry, he won the Arnold before, like 6 months before he won the Arnold, and then he won the Olympia. I mean, I told him personally, he is developing or he is improving each time he is competing. So, and I'm really looking forward to see him what he's gonna bring on stage this time. Then, of course, we have Flex Lewis. I mean, I think is the most,
crazy conditioned guy who could we see on stage, maybe next to Phil. So, and can you imagine bringing him like 15 pounds, 20 pounds extra mass on stage? You know, he has no limit right now, and you know he's always showing up with excellent condition. You know, he's peeled. So then we have Hadi Chupan. I mean, one of the greatest bodybuilders, I would say. Even when he was amateur, he looked insane. You know, and I won't say it's getting worse. So if you take the lineup this year, I mean, it could be one of the best Olympias if they all show up in great, crazy condition. You know, things like, or guys like this, you know, sometimes 1 year is going not so good. And sometimes, you know, 1 year you get like top 5, top 6 in a crazy condition. And then everybody's talking about it, you know, and then nobody complains, you know, how bad bodybuilding is going to be, you know. I think it's still there. It's bodybuilding is still the big show. And we just need to, yeah, probably we need to wait a little bit, a couple more years. And I think some of the guys are making huge improvements. Like I was in New York, in Tampa for the New York show. There were a couple of athletes who were great, like what's his name? Justin Rodriguez, I guess. Yeah, Justin. He looked amazing. I thought he was the winner, and I was watching the pre-judging. He moved up every time they compared them. He moved up, and yeah, great job. And yeah, then we saw another guy. I think Hassan or something. Huge muscle bellies, crazy development, but he faded a little bit, you know. Also, Antoine Vallier, Antoine, what is his last name? From also, yes, he's qualified for Olympia, and also he improved a lot compared to last year or 2 years. 2 years ago, he competed last time. I don't remember. So, I mean, we gotta give them time, and they're gonna show us a little bit more, I guess. You know, in a couple of years, they're going to be improved if they still, you know, going to keep doing what they do. So,
You know what's interesting? It seems like right now it's a lot of guys coming up, and it can go. The Olympia can go so many different directions. But then when Ronnie Coleman, he ruled the Olympia for 8 years straight, and then Phil Heath ruled the Olympia for 7 years straight. And it's almost like I compare them to, you know, because like in a Ronnie Coleman era, there was so many guys that were great, like, you know, like Kevin Levrone, you know, so many guys that were just excellent bodybuilders, but they could never beat him, you know. And also in your era with Phil Heath, like it was you, so many guys that were amazing bodybuilders, but just Phil Heath was just, you know what I mean? He was so dominant, you know what I mean? I can always kind of compare them to a little bit, you know. Do you remember competing against Phil and like remember seeing him on the stage and how challenging it was, you know, go in there after him, you know what I mean, or before him or whatever, and seeing him, like, do you remember those days?
of course I do. Yeah, but this is the difference. There's a small difference between a champion and the other guys who just not there yet. You know, that's, you know, all this really these details. You only can see it if you're like, you know, sitting in front of the stage or seeing the athlete backstage, you know. And this is a big difference, you know. If you're just, you know, like Phil Heath, you know, he was in the beginning, you know, awesome, great, and then until the end, many guys came close, like Kai, I came close, but still, you know, it wasn't enough, yeah. And with Dorian, you know, his era, and Ronnie Coleman, his era is the same. All these small details, which make the big difference, you know. But hey, like I said, some people say, okay, Phil Heath lost because of his stomach problem issue. I would say that was the problem, you know. Otherwise, he will never lose. But the thing is, he showed up twice with this issue, and yeah, the judges, yeah, punished him for that. But otherwise, if you compare muscle quality and everything else, I mean, there's no comparison. You know what I mean? I mean, if you see this, if you were able to see this once, how different they look on stage, you know, and they're all great bodybuilders, but that small difference, you know, or the small details make a big difference.
Top five favorite bodybuilders, or not favorite, but the five bodybuilders you consider to be the best of all time?
Oh wow, yes, yeah, of course, yeah. Arnold, Ronnie, Kevin, Flex, yeah, Kevin Levrone, I think is one of the best bodybuilders ever with the best genetics. Eh, I mean, I remember watching his videos. I was like, what the hell is that? Crazy. And also his personality, you know, during his career is just, you know, it just, man, he was a showmaker, you know. If he was on stage, I mean, it took 5 minutes, you know, to you know, present himself. But that was Kevin. And after Kevin, the other guys started doing this, you know. Before him, they went out, did a couple poses and went down. But Kevin brought it up, you know. He was like, that's what a bodybuilder should do on stage. Present him at his best and as long as he can, show everything he got, you know. And that's what I like about him, not just because he was one of the greatest. Um, Also, I'll say Dorian because of his density and sharpness. I mean, he was so peeled. I mean, if you saw him live, hey, it doesn't compare to the picture. I mean, this is insane. You know, there are so many to call. I mean, I've Matthias, the German guy. I was doing my first show and I walked in and he was gas posing. And I was like, what the hell is that? Amazing bodybuilder. Really, at the time, he was in preparation for the World Championships, German guy, Matthias Herzog. You know, I was a big fan of him, you know, and then we met a few years later, actually like 3 years ago, he in Vegas, and I told him that, and he's like, "Wow, I can't believe you you're saying that," because you know, they're not used to it, because you know we all start small, and I'm kind of saw this guy, and I was like, "Wow, that was for me at the time one of the best bodies ever I could imagine to get," you know. And Dennis James, you know, is my best friend, also kind of mentor, and also I like this fullness he got when he worked out. You know, I had the opportunity to train with him like many times in Kuwait, you know, everywhere. But this is just insane how full he gets. This is crazy. You know,
He still looks great. Dennis James still looks amazing. Like,
oh yes, yeah, he still looks like a bodybuilder. You know, this is great. This is great. And yeah, he's healthy, and that's perfect. Yeah, like I said, I was a fan of many guys, not just, you know, because they're all great, because one of each has his own thing, you know. Like I said before, Kevin, you know, it's like he was like a showstopper, always. Yeah, things like this. Yeah, of course, and then other guys like, you know, from the 80s and stuff, but to name them all is gonna be too long.
hey, man, I appreciate it. A few more questions, Dennis. So, what advice would you give to beginning bodybuilders that want to take it serious? They want to take bodybuilding serious. What are the top things they should be doing, focusing on?
I would say first thing is what's most important is to get as much information as you can. I mean, we live in a world where information is just here, you know, you just type in and you get everything what you want to know, you know. That's the most important thing. And then if you cannot or you don't know what to do in a gym, hire a personal trainer who can explain you a couple things and show you exactly how important it is to do the exercises right. Then, if you go on and already involved in this environment, then of course trying something out, you know, different training styles, you know, what is better or not, and listen to people who have experience, you know. That's what I did, because I talked to guys who look good in the gym. Then I, you know, figure out, you know, what he's doing and stuff. But I didn't try everything out. But You know, right now, like I said, there's a great opportunity to get all the information you need online.
Are you only taking clients that want to, you know, how do clients come to you? I mean, would you train anybody, or only guys that are serious about competing?
No, I offer many different types of collaboration. You know, I work with athletes. I work with just, you know, I do just personal training. You know, right now, you know, I used to have like one guy a week or one person a week, just, you know, tourists, you know, coming to Vegas. But now I'm kind of out of it a little bit, and you know, I'm slow with personal training. But I'm doing this, and also everyone who wanna change something, you know, because I can help with dropping weight and all this stuff. Women, men, doesn't matter. They just contact me over email, teamdenniswolf@aol.com, or over Instagram. You know, pretty easy.
Dennis, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate this interview, man. It was great to catch up with you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great. I hope people understand me. I'm kind of, you know, if I speak a couple languages, my head is not working.
No. It's great. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me personally. Thank you so much, Dennis. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Vlad.